Hi, I'm Joe Buckler. I'm a digital marketing manager here at B2B, and I'm here to talk to you about the differences between SEO for B2C and B2B. It's a huge opportunity just to increase organic traffic. It's a huge opportunity to kind of make sure that the content they're already likely producing is shared far and wide, and they can help to acquire new customers. The reason SEO is important for B2B businesses to consider is 85% of B2B buyers typically start their journey with search. So that if you don't consider SEO, you're missing out on quite a huge opportunity to get in front of people right at that top of funnel awareness stage. Most of the time, B2B companies are already investing quite heavily or have a good bank of content. If you invest in SEO, it gives you an opportunity to share that content further and just increase the reach of it, as opposed to traditional channels or other digital channels like social. So I think the core fundamentals remain the same as to how you would approach the SEO process, but the differences are around the types of keywords or the topics that you'd want to focus on. For B2C, it typically is a bit more broad, and you can kind of talk about a topic more generally. You can typically have more opportunities just to create more like high-level content, whereas with B2B, you need to hone in on a specific niche. So as an example, if you were working in, say, like the food industry, for B2B, you might want to get in front of product buyers or product development people. So you'd want to target terms like recipe management systems or product lifecycle management, things like that. You wouldn't want to target recipe ideas or recipe ideas for vegans or anything like that, because you're likely going to get a lot of B2C. So that's probably one of the biggest things. It's like really figuring out exactly what topics you want to focus on. That's part of our 6-stage keyword process. What you're talking about there is validation. So what we would typically do is we begin by just doing some keyword ideation. So that's where we ask our clients to share some topic ideas and keyword ideas. Typically we'll ask them to get people from various parts of the company involved in that, just because I think everyone's got a different perspective and it can really open up some interesting opportunities. We'll also work on that ourselves internally, so we'll do keyword research using a variety of SEO tools. Once we have that list, what we can do is validate that. So the simplest way of explaining that is we literally will search for the keywords in Google and we'll see what the results look like. That can give us a really good idea as to whether or not it's a B2C or B2B term, if it's too broad, if it's not quite right for us, or if it is actually a really good keyword to target. That also opens up quite a lot of other opportunities. If we do find a keyword that is very B2B focused, we'll also see within the search results, whilst doing the search, the people also ask questions. So that is a great opportunity for us to capture, okay, well, if we want to target this term, these are the questions that we need to answer in the content that we're going to produce later down the line. So there's a couple of things that we'd typically look for. Some really obvious things are if we start seeing e-commerce in the search results. That's a really clear indicator that people are looking to buy a product rather than gather information which is more B2B related. Other than e-commerce, so if we see things like Wikipedia entries appear in the search results, that can be a good indicator that the topic is too broad or too B2C focused. As well as that, it might just be that we see B2C companies or websites appear alongside, which is again a strong indicator that it's just not quite the right keyword for us. So a good example of this is if we take something like vitamins. So you could create a web page that talks all about, say, vitamin A. So it'll talk about what it is, the benefits, the applications, things like that. That's a very B2C focused piece of content. What we would really ideally want is a B2B focused piece of content. So that would be where we talk about vitamin A and how it can be used in formulations, and then maybe potentially talking about the manufacturing process and the delivery of that. So usually what we see is anything that happens in B2C tends to trickle over into B2B, but it typically comes quite a lot further down the funnel. So anything that's happening in B2C now, we might not see the immediate impacts for the next couple of years or so. That being said, it's still really important to consider AI and how that can be used both to support your overall SEO processes and looking at how people might start to interact with the web in the future. One of the key things there is Google has announced back in November the SGE, or the Search Generative Experience, which was their kind of attempt to integrate AI with search. That seems to be put on hold slightly, but there's the fact that they've invested so much into that and they've actually announced that at keynote events means it's definitely something that's on the radar and definitely something that we need to be really aware of and start to be planning for now, really. AI is really useful to support with keyword ideation. We can just plug in a few different topics, and that helps with the actual brainstorming session. We can just ask to provide a list of, say, 30 or 50 keywords around a specific topic. That will then feed into how we can validate those keywords later down the line. Apart from that, we also use AI to help support with developing the SEO strategy, so it can help create outlines for particular content pieces that we can then pass on to our scientific copywriters and just other copywriters who will qualify that, amend it, and use that as kind of like a basis to kind of create the content. We see that tends to speed up the process quite drastically, which frees up resource, which means we can create more content, things cost less for clients, and we generate like a stronger ROI overall. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions about your SEO strategy, please feel free to get in touch.